Hello, and welcome back to Horoscope TV. It is so good to have you here with us today.
Yeah, we are so glad you tuned in.
The energy is really high right now. The stars are moving, and we are absolutely ready to get into it. Today, we are focusing our lens on one sign in particular.
A very intense sign.
Oh, absolutely. We are looking at the stars for Scorpio for the week of March 2nd to March 8th, 2026.
Yes.
So if you are a Scorpio or if you know one, or even if you are just trying to understand the mysterious Scorpios in your life a little bit better, then you are definitely in the right place.
That is right. It is going to be quite a week for them. I've been looking at the charts and analyzing where the planets are moving, and I have to say for Scorpio, this is really not a boring week.
I feel like it is never a boring week for Scorpio, though. I mean, they always seem to have something really intense going on underneath the surface.
They do. They really do.
But let's look at the main headline here. If we had to put a movie title on this week, specifically for March 2nd through the 8th, what would it be?
Well, the overarching theme for Scorpio this week is intuition and shifting alliances.
Ooh, shifting alliances. That sounds a little bit dramatic.
A little bit, yeah.
Like we're in a spy movie or something, or maybe a courtroom drama where someone changes sides at the very last minute.
It does sound dramatic, but honestly, the astrology really backs it up.
Yeah.
It is a week
Hmm.
of big changes regarding who you hang out with,
Right.
who is on your team, and how you feel on the inside. It is all about trusting your gut feeling, your intuition, basically, when it comes to the people around you.
Okay, well, I am intrigued. So when we say alliances, we aren't talking about like countries going to war. We are talking about friend drama or work drama.
A little bit of everything, really. We are
Okay.
going to cover love and career and money health, and of course, the specific days you need to watch out for. But the core of it all is social.
Okay.
It is about your circle. It is about the people you let into your life and the people you might actually need to distance yourself from.
Got it. It sounds like a week of cleaning house, emotionally speaking.
Oh,
Okay, well, let us not keep them waiting. Let us get right into the roadmap. Where are we starting today?
We have to start with the general vibe because there is a massive event happening right at the start of the week that kind of colors everything else.
All right, let us do it. So section 1 is the general vibe and the lunar eclipse.
Right. So on Tuesday, March 3rd, we have the biggest astrological event of the week. There's a lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo.
An eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you do not know much about astrology, usually when people hear eclipse, they think big deal. It is not just your normal full moon.
No, it is a huge deal. Think of a normal full moon as a chapter ending. An eclipse is like closing the entire book and starting a sequel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they shake things up, they speed things up. And for Scorpio, the eclipse is happening in what we call the social sector.
The social sector. So that means friends and groups and networks, the people you just sort of mingle with.
Exactly. But because it is an eclipse, and because it's happening in the sign of Virgo, this is not just about going to a party and having fun.
Because Virgo is different.
Right. Virgo is the analyzer of the zodiac. It pays attention to details, it critiques things. So this is really about analyzing who is actually on your team. It is about looking very closely at the people you surround yourself with.
So if I am a Scorpio listening to this, what does that actually feel like? Does it feel like I am suddenly annoyed by my friends? Is it a fight or is it more like a happy reunion?
Honestly, it can be both. That is why we call it shifting alliances. On one hand, you might actually reconnect with old friends you have not seen in ages.
Okay.
You know, people who really understood you back in the day, maybe from school or an old job.
Like a high school reunion vibe. Or just
Yeah.
randomly running into someone at the grocery store.
It could be random. Or you just suddenly feel the urge to send a text to someone you have not spoken to in maybe 5 years.
That makes sense.
But on the flip side, and this is the really Virgo part of the eclipse,
Mm-hmm.
you might look at your current group of friends and see the cracks.
Oof.
You might decide to leave a group that just does not fit your true vibe anymore.
That is the heavy part. It is like you wake up and realize, wait a minute, I do not actually have anything in common with these people anymore.
Exactly. And, Scorpio is a sign that values depth. They do not like superficial things.
Mhm.
They absolutely hate small talk.
They really do.
So this eclipse might make you look at a group of friends who only want to talk about the weather or gossip, and you realize, I do not actually like this. These people do not support my dreams.
That is tough. Breaking up with friends is sometimes harder than breaking up with a partner because there is no script for it. You just kind of,
You just stop hanging out.
yeah, you just fade away.
It is hard. But the stars are pushing you toward people who totally understand you.
Yeah.
So if you leave a group or if a friendship fades away this week, try not to panic. It is happening to make space for better connections.
Okay, so March 3rd is the big shakeup. It is the earthquake. What happens after the dust settles?
Well, we move to the next day, March 4th. And this is a very, very different energy. The moon moves into the sign of Libra.
And what does that mean for Scorpio? Because I know Libra is usually about balance and partnerships.
For Scorpio, when the moon is in Libra, it activates the part of their chart that is all about rest and hiding away.
Oh, nice.
It means the party is over and it's time to recover. The stars are literally asking you to take a step back. Think of it as a retreat.
That makes total sense. If you have a big emotional realization about your friends on Tuesday, or if you have a big argument, you probably want to hide under the covers on Wednesday.
Exactly. It is about processing. You
No.
cannot be on all the time.
Mhm.
After the social chaos of the eclipse on the 3rd, you really need quiet rest behind the scenes on the 4th.
So this is permission to just cancel plans on March 4th.
Full permission granted. Turn off the phone, read a book, just be by yourself. But then, if we fast forward to the weekend, specifically March 6th and 7th, the energy shifts again. It wakes up.
What happens then?
Two big things. First, on March 6th, the planet Venus moves into Aries. This changes your focus to your daily routines and your health. We're going to get into that more later because it changes how you handle your work and your body. But the really big news for the listener is March 7th.
March 7th. What happens on March 7th?
The moon enters your sign. The moon enters Scorpio.
The moon coming home. That sounds powerful.
It is extremely powerful. When the moon is in your own sign, you feel everything more intensely. Your emotions are right there on the surface. But for Scorpio, this is a source of power.
Because they're used to deep emotions.
Right. You will feel incredibly in charge, and your intuition, your gut feeling will be turned up to maximum volume.
So if you felt confused earlier in the week during the eclipse, like, do I like these friends? Do I not like them by March 7th? You will know exactly how you feel.
Precisely. You will have total clarity. The fog lifts, and you just know.
Okay, so that is the overview. Big social changes, a day of rest to recover, and then a power surge where you feel like yourself again. Now let's get into the juicy stuff. Let us talk about love and relationships.
This is where the shifting alliances theme gets really interesting and maybe a little complicated.
I see here in the notes we are calling this the When Harry Met Sally moment. That is a classic movie. Can men and women really just be friends? Or does romance always get in the way?
That is the eternal question, right? And for Scorpio this week, that question is front and center. Remember that lunar eclipse on March 3rd we just talked about?
The one in the social sector, the friend zone.
Yes. Because it is hitting the friendship zone so hard, there is a prediction here of a sudden surprising confession of love from a close friend.
Oh, wow. So you were just hanging out thinking you were buddies watching a movie or grabbing coffee and suddenly they dropped the I love you bomb?
It is very possible. The eclipse brings things to the surface that have been hidden. Maybe they have liked you for years and never said anything.
Or maybe the Scorpio is the one who realizes it.
Exactly. Maybe you suddenly realize you were in love with them.
That is exciting, but also terrifying. Because if you do not feel the same way, things get awkward fast. And you lose the friend.
That is the dilemma. We have to look at the risk here. Do you ruin the friendship for romance? It is a major decision point this week.
And Scorpio is an all or nothing sign. If they go for it, they really go for it. They do not do halfway.
Right. They want deep soul bonding. But if you date a friend and it does not work out, you lose the connection entirely. So the stars are asking you to weigh that risk carefully around March 3rd. Do not rush into it just because the energy is high.
Okay, let us say that does not happen. Or let us say you are looking for love elsewhere. What happens on March 6th when Venus moves?
On March 6th, Venus moves into Aries. Now, Aries is a very direct, active fire sign. And for Scorpio, this shifts the vibe of romance completely.
How so? Does it get more passionate?
It gets passionate, but in a different way. Romance stops being about poetry and flowers and mystery and staring into each other's eyes. It becomes practical and physical.
Practical romance. That sounds efficient.
It is efficient. It is about doing things together. You might find love at work. Or you might find love while doing your daily routines. Like you are at the gym, sweating no makeup, just working out, and you lock eyes with someone.
So it is not the candlelight dinner vibe. It is the let us run errands together vibe.
Exactly. It is quiet and steady. And here is what Scorpio wants right now. Acts of service.
Acts of service, like doing the dishes.
Yes. Small things.
March.
Someone fixing a shelf for you. Someone picking up your dry cleaning without being asked. That is going to mean more to a Scorpio this week than a dozen red roses.
Because it shows reliability.
Exactly. You want a partner who is reliable. With all the social shifting happening and friends acting weird, You want someone who shows up and does the work. You want someone who is useful and present.
I like that. It is grounding. But I see a warning here for March 7th. We cannot get too comfortable.
Yes, we really have to talk about the warning. On March 7th, Venus, the planet of love, meets up with Neptune.
Neptune is the planet of dreams, right? The planet of illusions.
Dreams, illusions, fog. It is like putting a soft focus filter on a camera. When Venus meets Neptune, it creates a lovely fantasy.
That sounds nice, though. Who does not want a fantasy?
The problem is it might not be real. The advice here is to be very careful. You might meet someone or look at your current partner and see them as perfect. You are projecting a movie onto them. You see what you want to see, not who they really are.
So you are ignoring the red flags because the lighting is so pretty.
Exactly. Are they actually great? Or are you just imagining they are? Do not get tricked by the fog. If something seems too good to be true on March 7th, wait a few days before you commit. Do not sign a marriage license on the 7th.
Good advice. Keep your feet on the ground, even if your head is in the clouds. All right, let us move from love to the daily grind. Let us talk about career.
Career is interesting this week because it is tied directly to that social energy we talked about at the beginning.
The eclipse again.
The eclipse again. On March 3rd, the same eclipse that affects your friends also affects your career network.
Working magic.
Yes. The ripple effect is massive here. Your social network is your best tool right now. The people you know are the key to your success.
So this is not the week to hide in your cubicle with headphones on.
No, you need to be talking to people. You need to be in the break room. You need to be on the group chat. The scenario the stars are painting is that you might get a brilliant tip about a new job or a new project from an acquaintance. Maybe a friend of a friend mentions an opening.
So the advice is to keep your ears open.
Listen to advice from your circle. Be open to what people are telling you about work. Even if it comes from someone you do not expect, they might have the key to your next big step. It's not about what you know this week. It is about who you know.
Okay, so March 3rd is about connections and chatting, but then we hit March 6th and the tone changes.
Drastically. When Venus enters Aries on March 6th, it highlights heavy responsibilities.
That does not sound as fun as networking.
It is not fun. It is the grind. You might feel overwhelmed. The volume of work is predicted to be massive. Just a mountain of tasks landing on your desk all at once.
Yikes. So how does a Scorpio survive that? Do they just cry?
No, Scorpio's tough, but the strategy is organization. Staying organized is the only way to survive. You cannot wing it. You need a list, you need a schedule, you need to prioritize.
And I see there is a specific deadline looming.
Yes, on March 8th, this is the end of the week, Venus meets strict Saturn.
Saturn is the taskmaster, right? The strict teacher who checks your homework.
Exactly. Saturn does not play games. On March 8th, a strict deadline is likely. Or a boss is going to be looking over your shoulder.
So this is not a day to slack off.
Absolutely not. This is not a day to play around or scroll on your phone or take a long lunch. Keep your head down. Work hard. The thing about Saturn is it rewards effort, but it punishes laziness. If you try to cut corners on the 8th, you'll get caught.
So if you do the work, you get the gold star.
Eventually, yes, you build a reputation for being reliable, but you have to put in the sweat first. It is about endurance.
Got it. Network early in the week, buckle down later in the week. Now let us talk about the resources you need to do all this. Let us get into money and finances.
Money is a tricky one this week. It starts with a warning, and honestly, it is a warning most of us need.
Let me guess. Is this the eclipse again?
It is always the eclipse. On March 3rd, we are dealing with those social spending risks.
Social spending risks. Is that like when you go out to dinner with a big group and everyone decides to split the bill evenly, but you only had a salad and water and suddenly you owe $100?
Exactly that. Or it is your friend's birthday and they want to do a destination weekend that costs a fortune. Or a big group activity like a concert where the tickets are really expensive.
And the peer pressure is real. You do not want to be the one person who says no.
It is very high. The warning here is clear. Do not buy things you cannot afford just to look good to your friends.
That is hard, though. You do not want to be the one saying, I cannot afford it. It feels embarrassing.
It is hard, but it is necessary. The eclipse might make you feel like you have to spend to belong. But remember the theme-shifting alliances. True friends will not care if you are on a budget.
That is a really good point. If they judge you for not spending money, you do not have, maybe they are part of the shifting alliances you need to leave behind.
Exactly. Your bank account is more important than their opinion. Now, it is not all bad news for money. On March 5th, we have a very nice aspect. The sun connects with lucky Jupiter.
Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion. We like Jupiter.
We love Jupiter. This brings potential for financial growth. and it is coming from a specific place.
Where should we look? Is it a lottery ticket?
Probably not the lottery. The charts say it comes from a totally creative idea or an international
It's
contact.
international, so looking abroad.
Yes. Or just outside your usual bubble. Maybe you sell something online to someone in another country. Maybe you get an idea that is inspired by a different culture. Or maybe you invest in a company that is overseas. Look for opportunities that feel big and expansive.
Okay, so watch the spending on the 3rd, look for luck on the 5th. What about the weekend?
We have a conflict between intuition and restriction. On March 7th, the moon is in Scorpio.
Power day.
Yes. Your money instincts will be razor sharp. If someone pitches you an investment or you see a deal, trust your gut. If a deal feels wrong in your stomach, walk away. Do not overthink it. Your body knows if it is a scam or a bad idea.
But then on March 8th,
Venus meets Saturn again. The same energy that brings the work deadline brings financial restriction.
so save.
Save. Avoid risky investments. This is a time to be conservative. Do not go to the casino. Do not buy the volatile stock or crypto. Put the money in the savings account and leave it there.
Smart.
Uh,
Safe and steady wins the race this week.
Okay, we have covered a lot, but you cannot enjoy money or love if you feel terrible. Let us talk about health and wellness.
The theme for health is the balancing act.
Balancing what?
Finding the middle ground between active social fun and deep quiet rest. Because if you do not balance them, you will tip over.
It sounds like Scorpio is going to be pulled in two extreme directions.
They are. And it starts with the energy crash around March 3rd and 4th.
The eclipse again. I feel like we are blaming everything on the eclipse, but it really is the main event. It is a massive energy drain. Eclipses are exhausting. Even if you are just sitting there, the energy is intense. It affects your nervous system. If you go to too many parties or try to be everywhere at once on March 3rd, you will crash.
So burnout is a real risk. You hit a wall.
Yes, so the action plan for March 4th, when the moon is in Libra, is to prioritize sleep.
Just sleep.
Sleep. Retreat. Hide from the world.
Yeah.
Turn your phone off. You need to recharge your battery. If you try to push through on the 4th, you are going to get sick.
I love permission to nap. Everyone needs that reminder.
Consider it granted, but then on March 6th, you get a fitness reboot.
This is when Venus enters Aries, right?
Correct. Aries is physical. It is active. It is the warrior. Suddenly you have a renewed interest in fitness and fresh nutrition. You might wake up on the 6th and think, I want to run. I want to eat vegetables. I want to move my body.
That is a good feeling.
Nah.
It is like the fog clears and you want to be healthy.
It is. It is the absolute perfect time to start a brand new workout routine. If you have been meaning to join a gym or start a yoga class, do it on the 6th. You will have the motivation.
And there's always a but. We have to be careful on March 8th.
Yes. The conjunction of Venus and Saturn.
Saturn again, the strict teacher.
Saturn warns you not to push your body too hard. You might have all this new energy from Aries and think, I can run a marathon today.
But your body says, no, you cannot.
Exactly. Saturn rules the bones, the knees, the joints. Your body needs respect. If you push too hard on the 8th, you risk injury. You might pull a muscle or hurt a knee. So exercise, but listen to your limits. Do not try to be a hero on the 8th.
So slow and steady. Do not go from 0 to hero in one day.
Precisely. Build up to it.
All right. This is a lot of information. I need a recap. I need the quick notes for the people who are taking notes. Let us do the cheat sheet.
I love the cheat sheet. Let us break it down into the essentials.
Start with the color of the week. What should Scorpio be wearing or surrounding themselves with to tap into this energy?
The color is maroon.
Maroon. Like a dark brownish red, not bright fire engine red.
Yes. Think of the color code hashtag 8000000. It is deep.
Very specific. Why maroon?
It fits the deep, intense, and powerful vibe of the moon in Scorpio. It is not bright red like Aries, which is aggressive. Maroon is deeper. It commands respect. It is mysterious. It is the color of blood and royalty. It matches how Scorpio is feeling on the inside.
I like it. It feels very Scorpio. Okay, what about lucky numbers?
Get your pens ready. Or your lottery tickets, although remember what I said about gambling. The numbers are 8, 11, 20, 20, 29, 38, and 47.
Let me repeat those just in case. 8, 11, 20, 29, 38, 47. So where should people look for these?
Look for them on receipts. Look at license plates. Look at the time on the clock. If you see these numbers popping up, it is a sign you are on the right track. It's a little wink from the universe.
Nice. And the best dates for success. If you have to schedule something big, when should you do it?
March 3rd for big changes in social energy, if you want to make a splash or meet new people. March 5th for lucky financial breaks, ask for the raise then or launch your idea. And March 7th for maximum personal power and intuition.
March 7th sounds like my favorite day, just feeling powerful.
It is a good day to be a Scorpio.
All right, let us wrap this up with something fun and very useful. The compatibility report. Who should Scorpio kiss and who should they avoid?
Let us start with the good news. The best match this week is Capricorn.
Capricorn, the goat. Why them?
Because they are strong and steady. Remember, Scorpio is going through emotional waves with the eclipse and the moon in their sign. They are feeling everything. Capricorn is an earth sign. They are grounded.
So they can handle the drama.
They can handle it without getting scared. On March 7th, when Scorpio is feeling everything intensely, Capricorn is just there, being solid. They do not freak out. They provide a safe container.
I can see that. Capricorns do not rattle easily.
And they share values. Both signs value absolute loyalty and extremely hard work. They understand each other's drive. They do not need to explain themselves to each other.
So they are a power couple.
An unstoppable power team, especially on March 8th. Remember that Venus and Saturn aspect. It helps them build a lasting foundation. Capricorn respects Scorpio's need for privacy.
Yep.
They will not pry. They will not ask annoying questions.
That is huge for Scorpio. Okay, so find a Capricorn. Who should we run away from?
The worst match this week is Aquarius.
Aquarius, the water bear. But they are an air sign.
Yes, they are an air sign. And the core conflict here is deep. Scorpio wants absolute intimacy and emotional merging. You want to be one with the other person. You want to know their deepest secrets.
And Aquarius.
Aquarius wants pure independence and cool personal space. They want to be free.
So one wants to hug and the other wants to run away.
Basically. The lunar eclipse on March 3rd is going to cause a fight over how to handle friends. Scorpio wants loyalty. You are my friend. Stick with me. Aquarius wants casual connections. Let us just hang out with everyone.
That sounds frustrating.
It gets worse. On March 4th, Venus connects with Uranus, which is the ruling planet of Aquarius. This brings unpredictable changes.
Scorpio hates surprises.
Scorpio hates sudden surprises. They want control. Aquarius loves erratic behavior. They love shocking people. They think it is funny.
So the Aquarius does something wild and the Scorpio explodes.
In results, it makes Scorpio very angry. My advice. Just avoid this dynamic this week. Save your sanity. It is just not worth the fight.
Sounds like good advice. Maybe next week, but not this week.
Exactly. Give it some time.
Wow, what a week. We have traveled from eclipses to secret crushes to job deadlines to injury risks.
It is a journey.
Let us summarize the mission. What are the 3 things Scorpio needs to remember to survive and thrive?
1, trust your gut, especially regarding your social circle. If someone feels wrong, they're wrong. 2, watch your wallet when you're with friends. Do not succumb to peer pressure. And 3, look for steady love, maybe with a Capricorn, and avoid the erratic drama.
Simple enough. Trust your gut, watch your wallet, find steady love.
That is the recipe.
Before we go, do you have a final thought for our listeners? Something to chew on.
I do. We talked a lot about shifting alliances and friends leaving or changing. It can feel sad. It can feel like a loss. But I want you to think about this. If an old friend leaves your life this week, was it really a loss? Or was it making space for the person you are becoming?
Ooh, that is deep. Sometimes we hold on to people who knew the old us and they do not fit the new us.
Exactly. Do not be afraid of the empty space. It will be filled with something better.
I love that. Thank you so much for that insight. And thank you to you, the listener, for tuning into this episode on Horoscope TV. We love going through the stars with you.
It was a pleasure.
If you enjoyed this, please make sure to subscribe to the show. That way you get notified immediately when the next episode is available and you never miss a forecast.
You do not want to miss next week.
Absolutely not. Until then, watch out for those shifting alliances and trust your intuition. Goodbye.